What can you say about strawberries other than they're an absolute gift of nature?
Nearly zero maintenance with seemingly endless bounty.
And while there isn't a more set it and forget it type of crop, we could all use a little boost sometimes. So today, let's really dig in and look at the top 7 things that I do to max out my strawberries every year.
Nothing beats a fresh strawberry out of the garden. These low creeping perennials thrive in a mild climate, full sun, and slightly acidic soil that's well drained.
Most strawberry plants are grown from what we call runners, or actual crown divisions, which we're going to get into later. Now, for some of us, even if we do all the seemingly right things, instead of this, we see this. Seemingly healthy foliage, but sparse berry production. If your plants are in this situation, then these 7 tips will definitely interest you. And so here we go. Tip number 1 is to weed diligently.
Strawberry plants have shallow, horizontally stretching root systems. Any weeds within 6 inches of the main crowns are going to compete for nutrients and water.
Stay on top of the weeds to keep your plants healthy, happy, and producing. And speaking of nutrients, max strawberry production is all about the right nutrients at the right time.
Without nutrients, no plants will grow that well.
But in the case of strawberries, as undemanding as they are, you need to fertilize with a plan.
Too much in the way of nitrogen will produce masses of foliage, and while pretty, will likely lack in actual berries. I always pick a balanced liquid organic solution with equal numbers of the NPK. Those are the 3 numbers you're going to see on any commercial fertilizer. I try to amend my patches with fresh compost right in the spring when the strawberries begin to send out their fresh leaves.
In the absence of that compost, a light liquid feed at this time will completely suffice, but you don't want to jack up the nutrients too high.
Specifically the nitrogen, because too much nutrients early on is going to result in masses of foliage, or in some cases, really soft, poor fruit.
All right, as the season goes on, shortly after your harvest, give those plants another feed of that same liquid solution, to give them a boost and to keep them healthy and happy the rest of summer. All right, we talked about these little guys earlier. The next tip is to remove all the runners as you see them.
Strawberry runners are the horizontal stolons that the mother plants send out to reproduce vegetatively. These offshoots of the main plant hit the soil, root themselves, and become brand new strawberry plants.
And while it's a great way to propagate and populate new strawberry patches, they're a massive drain on the mother plants.
As such, leaving them attached to the main plant is most certainly going to affect your production. Cut them off as soon as you see them. The next tip occurs when first planting, and that's depth. Strawberry plants originate and grow out of a crown. This is the vascular intersection of roots, shoots, stems, and flowers. The crown must remain above ground for the plants to thrive and perform their best.
A buried strawberry crown is going to be susceptible to rot and will most certainly underperform in terms of harvest.
Moving on, and this is a biggie, we have watering.
Any plant that produces berries needs diligent water management.
Too little, and you'll have stressed out plants with no berries. On top of that, too little right at harvest, and you'll have dried up berries. On the flip side, too much though, and the soil may lose all of its nutrients and most of its organic matter.
Strawberries are a bit different than other crops you might be growing, like say tomatoes or peppers. These plants benefit from infrequent but thorough waterings to encourage deep root growth.
Strawberries, however, are naturally shallow rooted, so we want to water them much more often, especially at the onset of fruiting. Early morning is best, as it gives the plants all day to use up that water and dry out before the evening. On top of that, you're going to want to mulch, as that'll most certainly help to mitigate evaporation and water loss.
And directly related to watering is drainage.
As much as drought can affect your production, waterlogged soils will kill your plants. Too much water, or more importantly, poor drainage, will turn the soil anaerobic and your plants will go downhill fast. Ensure proper drainage and you'll have the peace of mind to water freely without consequence. And finally, the last tip for max strawberry production is to keep the plants young.
You see, strawberry plants, or more importantly, strawberry patches, have a limited lifespan.
The crowns grow and multiply quickly, outcompeting themselves and eventually becoming overcrowded.
Because of this, when you're talking about strawberries with the pros, you'll often hear that age-old 3 and 5 rule.
What that refers to is, strawberry plants look their best at year 3 as the plants have matured and become their most productive. After that, production decreases, with year 5 being the inflection point of their time being up. It's then that the crowns can be divided, runners planted up, or even new pots being seeded. Whatever your preferred method of reproduction is, plan on replacing most strawberry setups at around 5 years of age.
Whatever your preferred method of propagation is, plan on replacing your strawberry setups at around 5 years of age.
We covered a lot in this video, and strawberries are an important crop. Let's do a quick recap, hitting all 7 of those growing tips. Not many perennials produce like strawberries do,
Tomatoes come close, but they're an annual for most of us.
and require far more in the way of maintenance, space, water, and nutrients.
Pound for pound, nothing produces like a strawberry patch when it's grown right. Hopefully, these 7 tips that we discussed here today will get you well on your way to a berry bonanza this year.
Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support more than you know. And if you're getting value from these videos, please like and share them to spread the word and help your fellow gardener to grow better.